Better is a poor person who walks in his integrity than a person who is perverse in speech and is a fool. Also, it is not good for a person to be without knowledge, and one who hurries his footsteps errs. The foolishness of a person ruins his way, and his heart rages against the Lord. Wealth adds many friends, but a poor person is separated from his friend. A false witness will not go unpunished, and one who declares lies will not escape. Many will seek the favor of a generous person, and every person is a friend to him who gives gifts. All the brothers of a poor person hate him. How much more do his friends abandon him? He pursues them with words, but they are gone. One who gets wisdom loves his own soul. One who keeps understanding will find good. A false witness will not go unpunished, and one who declares lies will perish. Luxury is not fitting for a fool, much less for a slave to rule over princes. A person's discretion makes him slow to anger, and it is his glory to overlook an offense. A king's wrath is like the roaring of a lion, but his favor is like dew on the grass. A foolish son is destruction to his father, and the quarrels of a wife are a constant dripping. House and wealth are an inheritance from fathers, but a prudent wife is from the Lord. Laziness casts one into a deep sleep, and a lazy person will suffer hunger. One who keeps the commandment keeps his soul, but one who is careless of conduct will die. One who is gracious to a poor person lends to the Lord, and he will repay him for his good deed. Discipline your son while there is hope, and do not desire his death. A person of great anger will suffer the penalty, for if you rescue him, you will only have to do it again. Listen to advice and accept discipline, so that you may be wise the rest of your days. Many plans are in a person's heart, but the advice of the Lord will stand. What is desirable in a person is his kindness, and it is better to be a poor person than a liar. The fear of the Lord leads to life, so that one may sleep satisfied, untouched by evil. The lazy one buries his hand in the dish, but will not even bring it back to his mouth. Strike a scoffer, and the naive may become clever. But rebuke one who has understanding, and he will gain knowledge. He who assaults his father and drives his mother away is a shameful and disgraceful son. Stop listening, my son, to discipline, and you will stray from the words of knowledge. A worthless witness makes a mockery of justice, and the mouth of the wicked swallows wrongdoing. Judgments are prepared for scoffers, and beatings for the backs of fools. Wine is a mocker, intoxicating drink a brawler, and whoever is intoxicated by it is not wise. The terror of a king is like the roaring of a lion. One who provokes him to anger forfeits his own life. Avoiding strife is an honor for a person, but any fool will quarrel. The lazy one does not plow after the autumn, so he begs during the harvest and has nothing. A plan in the heart of a person is like deep water, but a person of understanding draws it out. Many a person proclaims his own loyalty, but who can find a trustworthy person? A righteous person who walks in his integrity. How blessed are his sons after him. A king who sits on the throne of justice disperses all evil with his eyes. Who can say, I have cleansed my heart, I am pure from my sin? Differing weights and differing measures, both of them are abominable to the Lord. It is by his deeds that a boy distinguishes himself, if his conduct is pure and right. The hearing ear and the seeing eye, the Lord has made both of them. Do not love sleep, or you will become poor. Open your eyes, and you will be satisfied with food. Bad, says the buyer, but when he goes his way, then he boasts. There is gold and an abundance of jewels, but lips of knowledge are a more precious thing. Take his garment when he becomes guarantor for a stranger, and for foreigners seize a pledge from him. Bread obtained by a lie is sweet to a person, but afterward his mouth will be filled with gravel. Prepare plans by consultation, and make war by wise guidance. One who goes about as a slanderer reveals secrets. Therefore do not associate with a gossip. He who curses his father or his mother, his lamp will go out in time of darkness. An inheritance gained in a hurry at the beginning will not be blessed in the end. Do not say, I will repay evil. Wait for the Lord, and he will save you. Differing weights are an abomination to the Lord. A man's steps are ordained by the Lord. How then can a person understand his way? It is a trap for a person to say carelessly, it is holy. And after the vows to make inquiry, a wise king scatters the wicked and drives a threshing wheel over them. The spirit of a person is the lamp of the Lord, searching all the innermost parts of his being. Loyalty and truth watch over the king, and he upholds his throne by loyalty. The glory of young men is their strength, and the honor of old men is their gray hair. Bruising wounds clean away evil, and blows cleanse the innermost parts. The king's heart is like channels of water in the hand of the Lord. He turns it wherever he pleases. Every person's way is right in his own eyes. But the Lord examines the hearts. To do righteousness and justice is preferred by the Lord more than sacrifice. Haughty eyes and a proud heart, the lamp of the wicked is sin. The plans of the diligent certainly lead to advantage, but everyone who is in a hurry certainly comes to poverty. The acquisition of treasures by a lying tongue is a fleeting vapor, the pursuit of death. The violence of the wicked will sweep them away, because they refuse to act with justice. The way of a guilty person is crooked, but as for the pure, his conduct is upright. It is better to live on a corner of a roof than in a house shared with a contentious woman. The soul of the wicked desires evil. His neighbor has shown no compassion in his eyes. When the scoffer is punished, the naive becomes wise. But when the wise is instructed, he receives knowledge. The righteous one considers the house of the wicked, bringing the wicked to ruin. One who shuts his ear to the outcry of the poor will also call out himself and not be answered. A gift in secret subdues anger, and a bribe in an inside pocket strong wrath. The exercise of justice is joy for the righteous, but terror to those who practice injustice. A person who wanders from the way of understanding will rest in the assembly of the dead. One who loves pleasure will become a poor person. One who loves wine and oil will not become rich. The wicked is a ransom for the righteous, and the treacherous is the place of the upright. It is better to live in a desert land than with a contentious and irritating woman. There is precious treasure and oil in the home of the wise, but a foolish person swallows it up. One who pursues righteousness and loyalty finds life, righteousness, and honor. A wise person scales the city of the mighty and brings down the stronghold in which they trust. One who guards his mouth and his tongue guards his soul from troubles. Proud, arrogant, scoffer are his names, one who acts with insolent pride. The desire of the lazy one puts him to death, for his hands refuse to work. All day long he is craving, while the righteous gives and does not hold back. The sacrifice of the wicked is an abomination. How much more when he brings it with evil intent? A false witness will perish, but a person who listens will speak forever. A wicked person displays a bold face, but as for the upright, he makes his way sure. There is no wisdom, no understanding, and no plan against the Lord. The horse is prepared for the day of battle, but the victory belongs to the Lord. A good name is to be more desired than great wealth. Favor is better than silver and gold. The rich and the poor have a common bond. The Lord is the maker of them all. A prudent person sees evil and hides himself, but the naive proceed and pay the penalty. The reward of humility and the fear of the Lord are riches, honor, and life. Thorns and snares are in the way of the perverse. One who guards himself will be far from them. Train up a child in the way he should go. Even when he grows older, he will not abandon it. The rich rules over the poor, and the borrower becomes the lender's slave. One who sows injustice will reap disaster, and the rod of his fury will perish. One who is generous will be blessed, because he gives some of his food to the poor. Drive out the scoffer, and the strife will leave. Even quarreling and dishonor will cease. One who loves purity of heart and whose speech is gracious, the king is his friend. The eyes of the Lord protect knowledge, but he overthrows the words of the treacherous person. The lazy one says, "There is a lion outside, and I will be killed in the streets." The mouth of an adulteress is a deep pit. He who is cursed of the Lord will fall into it. Foolishness is bound up in the heart of a child. The rod of discipline will remove it far from him. One who oppresses the poor to make more for himself or gives to the rich will only come to poverty. Extend your ear and hear the words of the wise, and apply your mind to my knowledge, for it will be pleasant if you keep them within you, so that they may be ready on your lips. Extend your ear and hear the words of the wise, and apply your mind to my knowledge, for it will be pleasant if you keep them within you, so that they may be ready on your lips. So that your trust may be in the Lord, I have taught you today, you indeed. Have I not written to you excellent things of counsels and knowledge, to make you know the certainty of the words of truth, so that you may correctly answer him who sent you? Do not rob the poor because he is poor, nor crush the needy at the gate. For the Lord will plead their case and take the life of those who rob them. Do not make friends with a person given to anger, or go with a hot-tempered person, or you will learn his ways and find a snare for yourself. Do not be among those who shake hands, among those who become guarantors for debts. If you have nothing with which to repay, why should he take your bed from under you? Do not move the ancient boundary which your fathers have set. Do you see a person skilled in his work? He will stand before kings. He will not stand before obscure people. When you sit down to dine with a ruler, consider carefully what is before you, and put a knife to your throat. If you are a person of great appetite, do not desire his delicacies, for it is deceptive food. Do not weary yourself to gain wealth. Stop dwelling on it. When you set your eyes on it, it is gone. For wealth certainly makes itself wings, like an eagle that flies towards the heavens. Do not eat the bread of a selfish person, or desire his delicacies. For as he thinks within himself, so he is. He says to you, "Eat and drink," but his heart is not with you. You will vomit up the morsel you have eaten, and waste your compliments. Do not speak to be heard by a fool, for he will despise the wisdom of your words. Do not move the ancient boundary, or go into the fields of the fatherless, for their Redeemer is strong. He will plead their case against you. Apply your heart to discipline, and your ears to words of knowledge. Do not withhold discipline from a child. Though you strike him with the rod, he will not die. You shall strike him with the rod and rescue his soul from Sheol. My son, if your heart is wise, my own heart also will be glad, and my innermost being will rejoice when your lips speak what is right. Do not let your heart envy sinners, but live in the fear of the Lord always. Certainly there is a future, and your hope will not be cut off. Listen, my son, and be wise, and direct your heart in the way. Do not be with heavy drinkers of wine, or with gluttonous eaters of meat, for the heavy drinker and the glutton will come to poverty, and drowsiness will clothe one with rags. Listen to your father who fathered you, and do not despise your mother when she is old. Buy truth and do not sell it. Get wisdom, instruction, and understanding. The father of the righteous will greatly rejoice, and he who fathers a wise son will be glad in him. Let your father and your mother be glad, and let her rejoice who gave birth to you. Give me your heart, my son, and let your eyes delight in my ways. For a prostitute is a deep pit, and a strange woman is a narrow well. Certainly she lurks as a robber, and increases the treacherous among mankind. Who has woe? Who has sorrow? Who has contentions? Who has complaining? Who has wounds without cause? Who has red eyes? Those who linger long over wine, those who go to taste mixed wine. Do not look at wine when it is red, when it sparkles in the cup, when it goes down smoothly. In the end it bites like a snake and stings like a viper. Your eyes will see strange things, and your mind will say perverse things. And you will be like one who lies down in the middle of the sea, or like one who lies down on the top of a mast. They struck me, but I did not become ill. They beat me, but I did not know it. When will I awake? I will seek another drink. Do not be envious of evil people, nor desire to be with them, for their minds plot violence, and their lips talk of trouble. By wisdom a house is built, and by understanding it is established, and by knowledge the rooms are filled with all precious and pleasant riches. A wise man is strong, and a person of knowledge increases power. For by wise guidance you will wage war, and in an abundance of counselors there is victory. Wisdom is too exalted for a fool. He does not open his mouth at the gate. One who plans to do evil, people will call a schemer. The devising of foolishness is sin, and the scoffer is an abomination to humanity. If you show yourself lacking courage on the day of distress, your strength is meager. Rescue those who are being taken away to death, and those who are staggering to the slaughter, I'll hold them back. If you say, see, we did not know this, does he who weighs the hearts not consider it? And does he who watches over your soul not know it? And will he not repay a person according to his work? My son, eat honey, for it is good. Yes, the honey from the comb is sweet to your taste. Know that wisdom is the same for your soul. If you find it, then there will be a future, and your hope will not be cut off. Do not lie in ambush, you wicked person, against the home of the righteous. Do not destroy his resting place. For a righteous person falls 7 times and rises again, but the wicked stumble in time of disaster. Do not rejoice when your enemy falls, and do not let your heart rejoice when he stumbles. Otherwise the Lord will see and be displeased, and turn his anger away from him. Do not get upset because of evildoers, or be envious of the wicked, for there will be no future for the evil person. The lamp of the wicked will be put out. My son, fear the Lord and the king. Do not get involved with those of high rank, for their disaster will rise suddenly, and who knows the ruin that can come from both of them. These also are sayings of the wise. To show partiality in judgment is not good. One who says to the wicked, "You are righteous," peoples will curse him, nations will scold him. But for those who rebuke the wicked, there will be delight, and a good blessing will come upon them. One who gives a right answer kisses the lips. Prepare your work outside and make it ready for yourself in the field. Afterward, then build your house. Do not be a witness against your neighbor for no reason, and do not deceive with your lips. Do not say, "I shall do the same to him as he has done to me. I will repay the person according to his work." I passed by the field of a lazy one, and by the vineyard of a person lacking sense, and behold, it was completely overgrown with weeds. Its surface was covered with weeds, and its stone wall was broken down. When I saw, I reflected upon it. I looked and received instruction. A little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to rest. Then your poverty will come like a drifter, and your need like an armed man.